Hello, welcome to episode 2 of my channel. My name is Samantha and we're going to talk about how COVID-19 is affecting the mental health of absolutely everyone. As I said before in my last episode, is that it is affecting the mental health of children, businesses, workers especially, and just basically everyone. It is affecting each individual differently and maybe even similarly. So to further my research on how it is affecting the mental health of everyone, I decided to ask a few family members and friends about how this pandemic is affecting them mentally. So here are their answers.
Hi, I'm Sandy, and I'm Samantha's mom.
Hi, I'm Talina. I'm Samantha's older sister.
My name's Melina.
Michael Saturnio, I'm Samantha's uncle.
Hi, my name is Felicity.
I'm Nati Jacinto, and I'm the grandmother of Samantha.
Lee Valencia.
Hi, my name is Angelina, and I'm the auntie of Samantha Saturnio.
I'll be sharing my thoughts on quarantine and how I've adjusted to this lifestyle.
That is number one.
Question number 1 is, how do you guys feel about staying home all the time? Do you guys like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even before quarantine even started, me and my family were always inside.
Staying at home is actually quite nice.
I like staying home all the time. I didn't mind it before.
I'm fine, even before the virus. I don't mind staying home.
To be honest, I really don't mind it just because I'm such an introvert.
I actually enjoy staying at home.
I hate it.
Staying home is boring.
It's definitely frustrating.
It's definitely different.
We were always watching movies, watching TV shows, playing games. So it's something I'm used to and always feel relaxed to do.
So it doesn't really make a big difference.
We're homebodies to begin with, so it hasn't been quite a change.
I've been able to do things that I've been trying to do for the longest time.
You cannot go out and socialize.
Every time I stay inside for too long, I start getting claustrophobic and in my head, and I feel like I'm drowning.
We cannot even go to the restaurant and go to church especially.
I am under stress at home, but it's a different stress because, cooking and taking care of the family.
Just the fact that we can't do things or go places is the change.
That's a little different now, doing everything online.
But it also makes me miss the outside world, like hanging out with my friends, going to the beach, going to amusement parks.
Not being able to see my friends or going out.
And it sucks because my friends live far away and I haven't seen them in so long.
You end up having the same routine every day that you kind of lose track of the days.
It sucks because I'm literally in my house and I can't leave.
But I don't mind that. I love it. I don't get bored or anything. I have my family to keep me busy.
Connections with my family has grown stronger. Being with family definitely makes it better.
Question number 2. What are you doing to keep yourself and your mind busy?
To stay calm and relax.
I've been watching so many different movies.
I've literally watched High School Musical so many times.
I'm just watching a lot of shows.
I watch a lot of The Office because it kind of takes my mind off of the fact that this whole thing is happening.
Rewatched some shows.
Netflix as well as Disney Plus.
Playing with my dog, learning new makeup looks.
I've returned back to gardening.
Do the gardening.
Gardening, of course.
I like to do activities with my children. Doing a lot of singing.
And clean the house.
I'm cleaning around the house, and since I'm an artist, I'm painting.
We just hang out with family and keeping up with my schoolwork and just doing stuff in regards to college.
So I am on online classes.
Listening to music a lot.
Listening to music.
Discovering a lot of new music.
Tend to listen to live DJ streams.
And I've also talked to my friends every day in our group chat, which helps a lot.
Watch TikTok or something like that I was really positive.
Cook from time to time.
And also doing many puzzles.
I did finish a book.
I work on different side projects as well.
And what are you doing to take care of yourself?
I'm meditating.
Learn to meditate.
And also meditate.
I cannot go online and see the news that much anymore because it makes me really, really anxious. And I already have anxiety, so just seeing it every day, and working in healthcare is the worst thing right now. And then going online and seeing everything and seeing the death tolls, it's really not good for my mental health. So I try to stay offline as much as I can.
Drinking a lot of water.
Catch up on sleep.
Me and my sister have this habit chart which we are held accountable to do, which is like exercise, walk our dog, and eat healthy.
And I've been exercising a lot.
Exercising every other day.
But I really want to start working out at home.
Like my version of yoga.
Try to relax my mind.
I write down everything that I'm feeling. I do it every day as much as I can. Like I go to work and then I come home and I write down how my day was. I write down what happened today. I write down how I'm feeling. And it makes me feel like less like blocked in my head that like, oh, I wrote it down, like I could stop thinking about it.
It's cool to keep a journal at this time, especially because like my dad always says we are part of history right now.
I try my best to get outside to go for a walk.
So just trying to stay healthy while staying inside. Number 3, who are you quarantined or isolated with?
Right now I'm living with my dad, and as soon as I moved here, this whole quarantine kind of thing started.
With my husband.
With my family.
My parents.
With my family.
With my fiance Michael, my oldest daughter Brianna, my 2 toddlers Lucas and Nova, my sister Vanessa, and her boyfriend Brian.
With my family, my husband Eddie Sr., my daughter Angelina, and my older son Eddie Jr.
With my mom, my stepdad, my sister, and my new puppy. How are they affecting your mental health?
They're actually helping it a lot.
Very grateful and blessed that I'm with my parents.
They're driving me completely insane.
It's very challenging at times.
He's kind of driving me crazy sometimes.
I've been around these people like all the time, so I'm used to having them around.
With my family around me, I feel very good.
They're so level-headed. During this entire thing, I've never really felt overwhelmed. Of course, there's moments, but it's my own doing because this is a pretty crazy time and I've obviously never been through something like this.
And I feel like I've grown closer to my dad and my sister.
With my daughter, we communicate with each other every day.
This quarantine has also helped our bond grow even stronger.
I've also learned like new things about them and learned like new tactics that they do and learned that we're sometimes like we're the same person but we're also like the different kind of people.
He's kind of obsessed with watching CNN and he watches it daily. That's the only thing he watches. It's crazy. Like I don't want to, if I hear Anderson Cooper's voice like one more time, I might cry.
It's a lot of different personalities stuck in one house.
When you're stuck in the house with people for so long, the same people, you tend to get a little feisty, I guess.
And I don't want to come home and be like, oh, this is the death toll. Oh, this happened today. Oh, this person has a coronavirus. Like, it's like so scary and I don't want to be reminded of it all the time. I just want to come home and pretend like everything is normal even though it's not.
We're trying to give each other space and have patience with each other.
Definitely learn how to have even more patience.
Like I love him, don't get me wrong, I love him.
But we are communicating better, so it's getting easier.
I'm not lonely. They keep me busy.
If I was by myself, I don't know what I would do. I think I would be going more crazy than I am going right now, mainly because of boredom.
When my children and grandchildren come to visit me, they stay outside and we have a virtual hug and everything. So they come and pick up food that I make. We have social distancing and wear masks.
Number 4, what is your job? Are you still working?
Yes, I am still working and I'm very grateful to be working in the healthcare industry.
Yes, I am still working at Whole Foods Market. It's a grocery store.
I am currently a registered nurse at Kaiser. I've been there for 18 years, triage nurse, and I work for the call center.
My department is activities. Basically, I do the activities for the patients. We do music therapy, we do pet therapy, mental health, we talk about how we're feeling, and we just kind of like make them feel better even though they're in this facility. We want to make the patients feel as comfortable as they can.
Currently am employed at Whole Foods Market.
It's kind of the worst timing that I decided to get into healthcare, especially at a nursing facility.
How is your work situation affecting your mental health?
I do work from home.
And I've been very fortunate to be able to actually stay at home and work. So they call it temporary work for us right now as an advice nurse.
It makes me feel secure that they're taking drastic measures.
But at first it did make me feel uneasy just because I have children at home that I have to keep in mind.
But for the most part, it's been very scary. It makes me feel quite anxious listening to the calls that we are taking, that people are still contracting the virus. There are some that are calling in. They do have the symptoms of it. And what we do is actually set up a phone call or a video call, and from there the doctor will refer them based on their symptoms if they need to have the COVID-19 test done. We've done a lot of teaching. I think this is the most teaching I've ever done over the phone. We've had, probably close to, I believe, like 88% calls starting back in March when things were starting to shut down and patients were having the symptoms and realizing that it might be coronavirus.
I do feel relaxed now that I've been redeployed working at home. I'm very, very grateful to still be working.
Are there any differences at work?
We have policies that are changing on the daily to keep everybody safe, not just the workers, but the customers as well.
I want to say a month into it, as soon as I started feeling comfortable, management was like, oh, we kind of have to like shut down your department for a little while. Obviously, I go to work every day because it's needed for me and I'm an essential worker, but it's a lot different from when I used to do it. Even though I only did it for a month, like my routine is so different. Like we have to do things super carefully now, and it's really hard, especially by myself, if I'm there alone and I have to visit each room and do like, oh, arts and crafts, or oh, bingo, and like we can't really play bingo with a bunch of people because like social distancing, and it's really hard right now.
And recently we've noticed a very big change as far as people that are calling in. It hasn't been busy, and I think it's because people are staying home, they're staying healthy, they're not out there contracting any viruses such as pink eye, stomach flu. Some days we are just actually not even taking calls like we used to, one after the other, which is quite nice.
I've noticed this week that we've become a lot more busier in the clinics that I support.
But we also worry about if patients aren't calling in because they're scared, they don't want to come to the hospital, they don't want to come to the clinic. So we were getting about almost 500 calls, and they were waiting like 45 minutes to an hour. Now it's actually no wait. We take the calls right away as they come in, and it seems like everyone knows what's going on. They know what to look for. They are doing precautions. They're staying home, washing hands, staying 6 feet apart. So based on that, I feel that we have been doing our job as advice nurses, and I've been very fortunate that I can stay home. At the call center, we were barely 6 feet apart. I think we were actually less than 3 feet apart sitting by each other, and we just found out that we've been extended. So that helps my anxiousness and my anxiety regarding if we were going to go back on June 1st.
What precautions are you and your work taking to maintain safety at your work?
Keep it clean and sanitized for the public and as for the team members that work there.
They provide us with masks and gloves, and we sanitize everything at work, social distancing.
I'm trying my best to make the patients feel like normal because I don't want to scare them. The nurses don't want to scare them. Like, no one wants to make them feel like, oh my God, I'm trapped, because we stopped visitors, we stopped DoorDash, we stopped vendors, we stopped everything, so they can't really see their family. It's scary. Like, I go to work, and if we have a patient that passes away, their family can't come in to say goodbye. And I would literally have to carry their things and put them in a storage or donate them. And it's so depressing at times, because the last thing that a person wants is to die by themselves. For the other patients, we kind of not block it, but kind of make them feel like what we're doing now isn't a bad thing. I mean, it does seem bad, but we can make it seem better if we're positive about it and we're only doing it for safety precautions. We haven't had a case of COVID yet, thank God, because we're really, really careful. I think what we're doing is good. We test every day when we come into work. We have to take our temperature and sign it. But if we have a cough, where else we work, if we've been to like the hospital or something like that, yeah, we're being really careful, but it's still really scary. But for them, I can't even like give them magazines. I don't want to be like the front page, coronavirus update. Like nursing homes should be very like scared and like warned. I don't want to give them a magazine that says that because that's their whole life. They live there. They can't leave to go visit their daughter. I kind of like go by patient. Like obviously I'm gonna tell them if they ask like, oh, do we have any COVID? Like they have a right to know, and I will tell them, but I'm just trying to be very precautious of their feelings and like do the best that I can.
Number 5, did your mindset change from how you viewed COVID-19 from before to now?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, my mind has changed when I first heard about COVID-19 to now.
My thoughts have definitely changed.
Before, I had a lot of fear and anxiety.
At first, I didn't know how severe COVID-19 was, yet alone did I know what it was.
Honestly, I was very nervous. I didn't know what was going to happen, how things were going to change.
Before, we can go to the grocery without being worried about being protected. We can go shopping, we can go to the movies.
Since the quarantine started with coronavirus, I had to report to the office every day. I was very anxious. I had a couple of anxiety flare-ups.
I thought people were going to go extremely crazy and it was going to be hard to get anything, to be able to make sure that our family would be okay.
When I first heard about it, I actually was really iffy on it, and I wasn't really like paying most attention to it because I've never really heard of pandemic.
But now that we are a couple months into it, I feel a little bit more comfortable and stable with my emotions.
We are more aware, especially with our health.
The longer that I've been in isolation, I've stopped being scared or nervous.
So towards the second week of the shelter in place, I was redeployed to work from home. Since I've been at home, I've become a lot more relaxed and a lot more calm.
I started to calm down and have a clear shot of saying, okay, I have to be ready for anything that'll happen so I can help take care of my family.
The news scared me a lot. So what I've been doing is keeping away from that, and I feel like has definitely changed my mindset. I'm a little bit more relaxed.
We're not allowed to see other people. Hearing about all the sad deaths, I realized that it really is a huge concern in that it travels so quickly.
And knowing that my work is doing everything they can to keep me safe and to keep everybody around me safe, it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable.
I'm blessed to be in this isolation with my parents because they have stayed level-headed, and it's helped me stay level-headed.
How are you being responsible about this pandemic?
Now, our usual uniform now that when we go out, we have to wear masks to protect ourselves.
It's just more of always being prepared and being responsible and not going out with friends and all these other people. So, just taking the right precautions.
We need new and better healthy routines. I mean, everyone should be washing their hands like they did before, but they should be washing their hands after everything they touch.
So we had to listen to guidelines, follow what needs to be done to be safe and healthy.
And now I'm calm and I'm just working on myself, working on bonding with the people I'm in isolation with, and staying connected with people through social media and texting and not going out to see them.
Number 6, how is online school or distance learning making you feel, and how is it affecting your mental health?
There's some perks of having it online. It's more leniency, but it's also hard because Wi-Fi connections are really slow because everyone's home.
I personally like it just because I get to do my work at my own time.
I don't know, the workload feels the same. It's not very hard or easier. It's the same as what I'm used to.
And I don't feel pressured, and I get to do it around an environment where I'm comfortable in.
It's a learning process. Still feel like I'm stumbling a little bit, but I'm definitely getting the hang of it.
Lastly, number 7, how is this pandemic affecting you specifically since you are a senior in high school?
Truthfully, I am super sad.
I feel like senior year is the most important year of high school. And now we just got it cut off halfway.
I don't get to have like a normal graduation, and my family doesn't see me graduate.
And since we have been cut off like almost near the end of it, I feel like, and that's where all the important events are, I missed out on all of that and we didn't get to experience that.
And I think it's gonna be sad, but at the end we're doing it for a good reason.
So that's the end of my questions, and thank you for everyone who participated in my video and took the time to answer my questions and tell me about how the pandemic is affecting you and your family mentally. So I'm gonna do a little overview and reflection about everyone's answers, because when I was watching them, I was really amazed and surprised how people are spending their days like exactly the same, they're feeling the same, but then it was also crazy how like people's lifestyles are completely different during this quarantine. So I'm just gonna do a quick little overview. So number 1 was how are they feeling about it. I thought it was really interesting how most of them really enjoyed staying home and are homebodies like me. I thought that was really cool. But then there are also those who doesn't like staying home, which I completely understand because they explained why. And then number 2, what are they doing to stay busy and how are they taking care of themselves? I thought it was really cool seeing that many people are doing the same things, such as cleaning, gardening, listening to music, watching movies. I'm glad everyone had something to say about taking care of themselves. This quarantine pushed people to be more positive about themselves and not just bring themselves down the whole time. Number 3 is who you're quarantined with. Mostly everyone is quarantined with their family, and I'm glad that they're all finding ways to get along. Number 4 was about their jobs. Most of my family and friends are still working, considering they're healthcare workers and essential workers. I thought it was really cool to hear from them and how their work circumstances changed and how the circumstances affected them mentally for either the better or for worse. I just wanted to say thank you for all essential workers, such as those working in healthcare or those working in shops and stores and restaurants. Thank you so much, because you are honestly doing so much just to take care of others. I'm also really glad to see that places are taking great precautions to keep the customers and workers safe. And going back to what my mom said about that they're getting less calls at the call center, I am super glad to see that people are getting healthy and staying safe because they've been staying home. Number 5 is how their mindset changed. Many people are more aware of the seriousness of this pandemic and the seriousness of their health and the health of their families. And I'm glad to see that they're more relaxed about how they felt from before. And lastly, number 6 and 7, how online school is affecting students and how the pandemic is affecting seniors at high school specifically. It is reassuring to see that other seniors are upset about the cancellation of school, just like how I am. But it is super sad to see that this pandemic is really affecting students, specifically graduating students, for the worst. So that's the end of this episode and the end of the little interview session. So thank you for those again for being in my video. It was really cool hearing and seeing your guys' answers. And it made me feel not alone because I like staying home just like you guys, and we've been doing the same things. Thank you again, and I really enjoy hearing your guys' response to my questions.